That would have been a perfect time to hit go right then.
Right when
Some of the stuff that happens in the back room, in the green room, should stay in the green. Look, Jim's put himself on mute. He doesn't want to incriminate himself.
Always.
You are in the green room. What's up, lads? How are you?
Good evening.
Fantastic.
Good to have you back, Jim, with my streaming efforts that Tio and I have been streaming for a couple of weeks here, but we thought we'd bring you in to impart some knowledge onto our fellow audience.
It's a trial. It's a trial.
It's probation.
Yep. There's a probation.
Sir,
and get him revoked.
We're going to have to get a rating at the end of the stream to see how Jim's gone. Now we're going to be talking about first radios today. So those who want to share their nostalgic stories about getting their first radio or how much it costs, because tell you what, used radios are really expensive at the moment, aren't they? Well, not at the moment. They've always been expensive.
Yes, always.
Some of them are hard to justify the price of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like the nostalgic batch of radios, the older
the one
tube
you had
stuff.
When you were in your 20s.
Well, when I was in my 20s, they had hamster powered radios.
They had that was spark transmitters.
Spark transmitters. That's right.
Yeah. Well, see, you talk about nostalgic radios. I bought recently. There was an ICOM IC 706 come up for sale, and that radio was not my first radio. It was my second radio, but I bought it purely out of nostalgic purposes because when I bought it, I regretted selling it again. And when I saw one come up that was in excellent mint condition, I was like, no, I need to buy that because just for pure nostalgia, basically.
I haven't been a ham long enough to be nostalgic about any radios. I mean, there's some that I think are cool. I mean, I've had two Kenwoods that were awesome radios, but ultimately they don't radio any better or any worse than anything else I've had. So,
well, we should probably do a quick whip around. T.O., how long have you been licensed?
2016. It's coming up on renewal.
2016.
So I
Jim?
saw you had a goal in the chat before we allowed Jim to speak. He's new here. He doesn't get to go second.
He's never streamed first. This is his first time streaming.
This is my first time streaming.
Yeah.
Restreaming. Yeah, so there is a goal in the chat like we've had the last couple of weeks. We do have a goal of 10 super chats, and then at the end we're going to be celebrating your radios, your experiences, your stories. So if we can hit that goal, then we're going to be celebrating.
The conversion rate from US dollars to dollary dues is keeping Hayden from streaming. That's why he's been offline. He's been saving money for what, 6-8 months now, so he could get streaming again.
So he can pay for internet once, get some minutes on his Boost Mobile plan.
You took my joke away. I had to save.
Man.
Now I'm only on Wi-Fi at the moment. I need to pay for the Ethernet cable to the modem. How long have you been a ham for, Jim?
Since September of 2019. So coming up on 6 years.
Okay.
5.5, 6 years, something like that.
Okay. I was 2004, so I'm going to be really. I'm the old man in this group.
You are the OM. That's it.
Yeah.
But we talked about this before, though. The number of years licensed doesn't necessarily equate to, time under tension. I mean, I could have been licensed for 40 years and not done anything for 35 of them.
Right.
Yep.
So is that a better ham than the guy who's been licensed for 2 months and has thousands of radios?
Better ham.
Not thousands of dollars of radios, thousands of radios.
An alpha ham?
Yeah.
Oh, because he uses a manual tuner instead of an auto tuner?
I mean, we've seen a lot of people that have said that have been a ham originally a long time ago and then haven't done anything with it or just renewed their license or whatever 20 or 30 years later.
There's a winter to most ham radio licensees.
Yeah.
They hibernate for a while.
Well, do you want to kick it off? Well, I'll kick it off, I should say. And I'll show you my first radio.
Ooh. Show it to me, Hayden. Whip it out.
Look, again, what happens in the green room stays in the green room. Boom. Look at that. Look at that beauty. I bought
She's a
this is
beauty.
this is the FT757. I think they made a couple of models of these. There was like the GX1, the GX2, and I don't know if there might have been a GX3. And this was HF only. So when I got my license back in July 2004, I spent a couple of months trying to find a radio, and I looked everywhere, and I actually found this one on eBay. It was $500 on eBay. Now, this radio, bearing in mind, back then, so when did they make this? They discontinued this in the 90s, but it was 1987. So that was coming up close on 20 years. So 17 years old. And like $500 for a 17-year-old radio. But this was, I love this radio. I know where it is. I actually know who I sold my radio to, so I know they've still got it.
You put it up on hamcestry.com?
No, we should register that domain name and start that up.
It's a thing I came up with a couple of years ago that I've never had the time to develop. It'd be awesome.
Where old radios go to die.
No. So you got this radio from somebody who was a ham.
Right.
And it would be nice to trace this radio's lineage back through all of its hamcestors. And I've gotten a radio from a Silent Key, and then I sold it to Jim, and then Jim sold it to a friend of his, and who knows where it is now. But I mean, could you imagine, you pull a radio out, you type in the serial number, and boom, the following 17 hams have owned this radio. And then you look at QRZ logbooks and Logbook of the World. This radio's got like 9 billion contacts on it. It'd be pretty awesome.
Cool. You mentioned that. That should be a field, shouldn't it, when you're logging? That it's required to put your radio in, and then you can see how they're performing. We need to go to. We put up Jim's comment, and Jim actually disappears from the stream. Just lift your head up a little bit higher there, Jim, just so that we could see you. Best show from Down Under and tariff free. Help this poor ham tuber pay for more minutes on his internet. We're only limited to an hour because it's taken 8 months to actually pay for an hour's worth. So,
yeah.
What's with the $7.62? Is that a custom thing?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a custom thing.
Very good. Thank you very much.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. If you don't know, then you're like me.
Well, I don't want to talk about it on your stream. I don't want you. We'll just.
Was Hayden or the radio older? The radio was older, not by much, but just. This particular unit, I loved, and I still love, the old analog meters on here. So I don't know. I've just got this thing about analog meters, and it had this. The old Yaesus had this MOX button. You press that, it would just start transmitting. And there was many times where, not particularly this model because it was HF, but particular models that had VHF and UHF in it, you'd hit the MOX button and all of a sudden the repeater would lock up and you'd have to go for a bit of a drive to find who had actually pressed that button and was transmitting constantly. T.O., if you know, you know.
Right.
Thank you very much.
The better caliber.
Another custom $5.70 super chat in there. Thanks for kicking it off. That's two. Two in our goal. 2 out of 10.
Got that too, but
see that would be 5.7.
I see what you're doing now.
Yeah, there he
this
is.
is what happens when you get 2 Yanks on the stream.
That's right.
I know. We were talking about culture backstage, weren't we?
Right? Or
yeah.
We're trying to expropriate our culture now.
Yeah, that's right. I can't do anything about my culture at the moment. It's just mine's gone. So Frank, filling in for Jody, licensed in 2002, doing all the fun stuff since Scanner got me into the hobby along with a card catalogue at the library. What was your first radio, Frank? Your first ham radio that could transmit? So I know a lot of people got into scanners and CBs and stuff, but let us know in the chat and we'll bring it up. We'll bring that up next.
I'm going to take his comment off and I'm going to put Hayden's equivalent comment up. Y'all can see it. Thank you, Hayden. Americans get the joke.
Okay, that's another one. You guys are just you're reculturing my stream. I don't like it.
Well, we've got the 762 from Jim. We've got the 57 from To. We've got the 556 from Frank via Jody, or from Jody via Frank, and then we've got Hayden's 0.00.
So I can't donate to myself. Actually, I need to use another account, and then I could. Frank, Radio Shack. Okay, so should we go looking for this? We'll go looking for Radio Shack.
I don't know if you'd be able to find that. Well, maybe RigPix might have that.
Well, that's what I'm on at the moment.
Hayden's a pro. He knows how to do this.
Yeah. Is it just me, or everyone knows what RigPix is, right? They know what this is.
What's the other one? I know this one, and then there's a second one, Universal Radio or something like that.
Yeah.
Rolly.
I can't remember.
Yeah, Rolly.
Let me find this radio.
Hamdix,
what was
maybe?
Hey?
Only
No,
hands?
it's definitely Universal Radio is the other one.
Okay.
Rig Reference.
Rig reference, yeah.
Yeah, so this one's not on. Okay, so this one's not on. Or maybe not. I don't know. This one's not on RigPix, or I couldn't find it. So, but I gather that's your first radio, Frank. The HTX 252.
VHF. Okay, yeah, 2 meter.
Yeah,
Looks like it's made by Alinco.
it does. It's got that look, doesn't it?
It's got the Alinco mic. Yeah.
I like that screen. The white
Yeah.
screen with the dark numbers. That looks actually pretty good for old radio.
Submitted by Elmer. How sexy though do old radios look? Like, they've just got this classic factor.
Yeah, I like it.
Maybe that's just me.
It's actually hard to like some of the newer radios.
It is very difficult sometimes. I feel like they're doing too much.
I feel like they
Be willing, it's up to you, brother.
might phone it in on interfaces on new radios. Close enough. This is almost the same as the last one we did, so we'll just make a new model. I don't know.
Or it's not as good as the last one we did.
Or
The
not
FTM
as good as the last
6000 versus the FT 8800.
Yeah.
You got some more housekeeping to do, Hayden.
I do. If you know, you know. You guys are just throwing cash at the moment, and I've got no idea what's going on. But go for it. This is the
Should
thing
we
when
explain it
you
to him? I'm trying to hint. He ain't getting it.
I can't believe he's not getting it. We got to get him back over here
there's a private chat,
and school him.
mate. There's
No, it's gonna be
there's
more
no
fun to have you
6 9s
figure
or
it
anything in any of these things, so it can't be anything bad.
It's not a sex thing.
There we go.
Oh, I didn't think about 338.
right,
That's
we
a
should
good one. I don't
highlight-
like Hayden well
French
enough for
words,
30
like
6.
Lapua.
We should we highlight James for being a member
Yeah.
for 14 months. Cobra
Yeah.
CBs. Cobra CBs. You guys need to. I need to start. I wanted to use RigPix, and I've had to now Google what particular model, James, were you using? The number one choice for truckers, Cobra CBs. Thank you for being a member for 14 months. So what was your first radio, Tio? What was the very first purchase you ever made?
The Yaesu FT 891 was my first, and regret comes to mind when I think of that. Because for the cost of the 891,
Regret buying
plus
it or
all the
regret
things-
selling it?
Regret buying it. For the cost of all the things that I would have needed to
I was-
buy to turn it into a 7300 would have been cheaper just to buy the 7300.
I thought the
Yeah, okay.
891
How long
was
did you
like the
have this?
reference radio. Everybody
It's a
loved
good
the
radio.
891.
I sold it
How long
last,
did you have it
last
for?
Summer. Last summer.
Okay, so you've had it
8 years?
So you had it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
It's
had
a
it
good
for
radio,
a little while then.
Add an external sound interface because it doesn't have one. Add a external waterfall display, IF tap, because it doesn't have one. It's got a band sweep once, and then wait, and then push
Yeah.
the button. And,
In giant blocks. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, see, they they had that too with the 991, where you'd have to press the band sweep button, and they included a waterfall, except it was keep pressing the button to sweep every time you wanted the waterfall, and then they fixed that in the A model.
Yes.
So
It's still slow, but you don't have to push the button.
Yep. Jim, what was your? Actually, no. Before I do, so yours was the 7300. So both of you, I'll bring up the 7300. I want to ask you though, what was your sort of? So we heard T.O.'s story about it. What was your story with the 7300? Did you like it, or what was the idea in picking that?
I think when I got my ticket, I wanted to not spend $1,000 on a radio, and
so $999.
Well, that
foolish
didn't happen.
me. Well, no, it kind of didn't. But when I started, I was going to buy used radios, and I started looking around on QRZ and elsewhere, and I bought this radio in 1974, and I'm selling it for $900. I'm like, I'm not buying a 50-year-old radio just because you're in love with it. Apparently more than you like women. So no, and unlike T.O., I decided I'm not going to spend $1,000 to get somewhere. I'm just going to, I'll spend $1,000, and I bought the 7300, and they had like $100 rebate. So I got like a Visa card back or something. And then shortly after that, I bought a 991A almost on top of it. So I was running both of them for a while.
Double dipped.
But
Carlisle
took like 9
KO4
months to get that
QNT.
back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carlisle.
Thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Carlisle, pop in the chat. What is your first radio? And we'll look that up next. Sorry, continue.
So I bought one of these 7300s brand new from, I want to say Giggle Parts, and it would not transmit out of the box. Like open box,
DOA.
plug-in radio. Hit the button.
I'd be hot.
I was, and then I did a factory reset because I've used Windows before in my life, and
even though it's brand new,
yeah, and it worked fine from that day forward. But that was a disappointment for $1,000 spend.
Yeah. Did you ever figure out why it might have?
No. I mean, it worked every day since then, so I didn't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I wonder. See, that'd get me curious. I'd want to know what was actually wrong with the radio. But I guess if it's the first thing and you've made a major purchase, you don't really care. You just want it to work. Don't you?
No, you don't care at all. You want to have that out of box experience. And I get that 1 in 1,000 has a defect as it's coming off the production line. So I wasn't too sore. I was sore, but I wasn't too sore.
I wonder if it was like in test mode or something, and it just never got reset. That guy wanted to go home early that day. It was a 3-day weekend or something. I don't know.
That was a Friday radio.
Yeah.
It was definitely built on a Friday.
You got to feel bad, though, for somebody. I mean, T.O. is obviously, let's just power cycle it, right, with authority. Yeah. And that fixed it. But how many people would get a radio like that and just have to send it back because they don't have any clue?
So 101 blog says, brand new is better for new hams. The honest hams are always selling old records for full money.
No returns due to part swappers.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get a good deal though, like at a ham fest, and this is our little parts of wisdom imparted to you today. If you're at a ham fest, you go around and you find whatever you want to purchase. If there's someone's got a radio somewhere. And if you want to get it and you want to pay for it for whatever they've listed, sure, go and do it if you really, really want it. But if you're not quite, willing to pay whatever they're asking, just circle back throughout the day and wait until they start packing up and they've still got the radio in the hand. And that's the time when you start to bargain and you can probably snaffle something. Because we did that when I was over there, didn't we, T.O.? One guy packed the radio away. He didn't want to take it home with him, so we knocked off some money off the price.
What did you end up getting? I don't remember.
That radio is sitting right in front of me. Here's the head.
Yeah, I thought it was a Kenwood of some sort, a 710 or a 710 GA.
But see, I still had to fix it because I said to him, "Is there anything wrong with it?" No, there's nothing wrong with it. I get it all the way back here in country, power it up, And then the right volume right squelch didn't work, so I had to fix that.
That's right.
So you get those on the big jobs.
But our friend 101 blog came back, and he's absolutely correct. Get from somebody that you trust, especially on your first radio. And if you show up to your local club and you show up eager and happy and excited, and your club's not full of alpha hotels, somebody's going to go, "Here, have a free radio. Would you like me to show you how to use it? Welcome to the hobby. Do you have an antenna and some coax to go with it? How about a power supply? Like, unload all the old crap out of the shack and right across the table to you."
Hey, I will bring up that although I did buy my first HF radio, I was still lent, a couple of radios from other people in the area and in the club to actually get me going. So that really helped a lot too. To, like you said, if you've got some sort of spare radio and you don't mind lending it out to someone who's just starting new, then definitely do that because it helps out. Carlisle's. So we go back to Carlisle's super chat. Kenwood TS520S. Look at this bad boy.
Holy man.
That's got all the knobs.
It's the handle.
That's authoritative right there.
Oh.
That radio looks at you and says, "How you doing?"
How you doing?
You walk into someone's shack with that and you're like, yeah, this guy knows his stuff. Like,
let's take this out down the pub.
The flip down switches. Imagine podering with this thing. What's the weight on this bad boy?
20 pounds if it's an ounce.
Does it have an optional belt clip?
I'm just trying to see
I'm not joking. I'm actually legitimately asking.
35 pounds. 16 kilos.
Hang on. Our friend Balmer Mike here. How you doing, hon? Gifted
Mike.
20 memberships. Frequency Frontiers. Dave got one. I got one.
That's dodgy. That is.
Charles Rector got one. Rector, Daniel Kilder. Kurt Collins got one. Dean KQ480J got one. Chavez, my man Chavez got one. Jake B, as opposed to Jake A. The A model not as good as the B model. And then the chat scroll. Where'd you go, Jake? Where'd you go, Jake?
Skeeter or K7TRD got one. Mel Davis as well.
Thank you.
I think they're still going through. So
yeah, just jump. There it is. Skeeter, Mel Davis, Robert Ritalia, Kevin KD9JOU, Mike WM9K, Jeff AA4BC.
Mark.
There are more than 3 letters in the alphabet there, Jeff, just letting you know. W0UQJ, Kelly got one, and then the thing jumped again. There it is. David, KD9WTA, Sandra Risen got one. I hope I pronounced that right. Ham Radio Tectonics, Bill. Check out Bill's YouTube channel. Thank you all for stopping by today. I know I messed that up, but
missed a couple more.
Wayne Wenton, hold your roll. Wayne Wenton got one, and I think the last one here is Dave Newmeyer, N0KM. Thank you, Mike, and all y'all fine folks.
Thank you very much, Mike, and congratulations to everyone for getting a free membership. My screen was just not updating, and it's still not updating with all of the memberships there. So you did well, Tio, to actually catch up with all of those.
That happened the other day. It gets kind of weird sometimes.
Yeah. So this radio, I had a Kenwood 570, and the 570 was, a big 30-pound brick like this with a really awesome tuner in it, and one of the accessories was a belt clip. I don't know why anybody would want to wear it.
I mean, I feel like you'd need like a lanyard with like some sort of lifting rope. Yeah.
To shoulder holster. A shoulder holster for it.
That thing would carry you up the tower.
This was Carlos. Yeah, tonnage definitely. Do you still? What happened to this radio? Do you still own it, or did you get rid of it, or how did you find it?
So while you're waiting for his answer, scroll down. There's an accessories list at the bottom of this page.
External tuner. Oh, hang on. I think I had one of these. No, not that one. So that's the antenna tuner. So you imagine this thing now all fits
manual
inside a 7300 or even smaller.
Yeah.
It's a G90. It even fits into a G90. Although this thing has multiple antennas, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, G90.
What other accessories?
External BFO.
I don't see any shoulder strap.
Station monitor scope. I still want one of those.
I know, and I don't want to spend the money on it, but I'd love to have one. I have zero use for it, but it's really cool.
It's an oscilloscope especially designed for ham radio, so you can check your output waveforms and your amplifier purity and all kinds of other stuff
in real time.
I mean, you can do it on a regular scope, but this is specifically designed for those functions.
To just sit there. That'd make someone that we know happy. What else have we got?
It'd make me happy. I'm just too cheap
crystal
to pay
filter.
for one.
Big crystal filter. Well, it's not really big. That's just
CW. 500 hertz? I still couldn't CW with a 500 hertz filter.
Wow.
I
That's
can only CW with a 50
that's
hertz
impressive.
filter.
That's what she said.
About what?
The size of my radio.
So you can have the station monitors in the newer radios like the 710 and the 7300 and that because they've got the waveforms that you can bring up.
Yeah, I was going to say it was in a 7300 5 years ago that I personally know of.
It's not got 100% of the functionality, but there is some good functionality in the built-in oscilloscope in the radio.
It's handy if you're using different, like if you're not using the stock standard mic or something like that and you want to see what you're looking like. Working on General, got it from a family friend who was downsizing. Got a Cushcraft R5 and an MFJ Tuner 2. Nice.
You're all set.
Very
Way
nice.
to go.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Big
they gave
score.
you some coax.
So
too.
so I read that as you've still got it? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't have his general license yet.
So Wayne
Let me know when you're ready.
here,
We'll get you tested up, brother.
Wayne here in the chat. Oh, let me bring it back up. Wayne here in the chat says that his first radio was an IC 707. It was nearly $700 in 1996. What's that for inflation now? Adjusted. Let's bring up the 707 and have a quick look.
Wayne, did you get anything at Midwest Winter Madness? Hamfest last weekend?
Look at that bad boy.
Nice. Looks like they're stealing design language from Kenwood on that. But that still looks like the 718 too. I know it's not exact. It looks like.
It's similar.
Hands
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah. I think ICOM's still selling the 718, aren't they?
Yeah, and there's kind of a reason for it. It's kind of a durable club field day radio that you can buy and not be afraid if somebody drops it off a table.
Okay, so $700 back in 1996 is about $1,500 today. So,
Dang, Wayne, you're loaded. Should have charged you more for that stuff I sold you 2 years ago.
well, I guess in some regards, this is the other thing too, is that when you look at the prices of radios today compared to the radios back in the day, I see some adverts for some radios that are like thousands of dollars or, adjusted for today's money. And you're actually getting, in some regards, with some brand new radios, a pretty good deal compared to what they used to charge back in the day.
It's
Yes.
hard to believe it, but some new radios are actually a really good bargain value.
Well, the Japanese electronics industry has come a long way since the 70s, right? I mean, back in the 70s, the cheap junk was the Japanese junk.
I was going to say, they were the Harbor Freight of the day.
Yes, they were absolutely the Harbor Freight of the day,
And then they took all of our money on their cheap junk and then made better junk. And now
and
we
made
prize their good
high
junk.
quality junk. And I mean, Japan puts out some outstanding
You go
electronics.
get yourself a Sony or a JVC or a Kenwood, son. Get out of here with your nasty audio crap.
With your realistic stereo you got from Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
So old Lightning Lee dropped in here. 100 milliwatt CB walkie-talkie. Don't hold that too close to your head.
No.
FTDX10.
So the DX, that's reasonably new. So I have never owned one of these radios, but I know everyone that does says that they're great. And thanks, Lee, for being a member for 22 months as well. Nearly 2 years.
Thank you, Lee.
I have passed one through a couple times. That's about it.
That sounded painful. If you're passing it through.
Doctor.
I did not pass it. I passed it through. I rehammed
Oh,
it. Let's
passed
go
it
with
on.
that. I rehammed it.
Reamed it. What?
I'm going to stop talking now.
It's not going to get any
Andy.
better, Jim.
No, it's not. Andy's been a member for 47 months. I think that Andy probably holds the record for the longest potentially member on the channel, but I'd have to fact check that. But Andy, what was your first radio? And actually, while I've got you
Andy
there too,
rubbed
Andy,
two sticks together to make contacts. Are you kidding me?
I sent you an
Uphill both
email too,
ways
Andy,
in the snow?
and I'm not sure. I've had some problems with my email. I was actually testing with TO yesterday with it.
Yeah.
So just make sure you got my email as well on a completely different matter, by the way.
Yeah, and Andy, in case you didn't get that, that was meant with
See, I
respect
reach out
and
to my
love.
members as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rockstar
not
Dave
the other way around.
Very
bought
good.
his first
just-
two radios at a tailgate event. A 730, an ICOM 730, and a TS 430S. So he got
Power
two
supply.
for $500. It's
Two
awesome.
for 500. That's a good deal. Let's bring up those two and have a quick squiz. So the 730,
Squeeze.
A what?
730, is that a new word that you've just
Squiz.
learnt? Squiz?
Squiz.
Look.
Let's have a look.
I did.
Let's have a
I
look.
just learned that one.
Yeah.
I learned that another word I used earlier before the show I should not say on Hayden's show.
Right.
No.
Hi.
Oops.
That's a
I
sexy
pressed the
looking
wrong-
radio.
I-
I like that. With
Press the wrong button.
the green E LEDs.
Yeah, this is, I don't know, they went through this sort of vintage look, didn't they, Icon, back in the day with their, just, the kind of militaristic type of look and feel, didn't they? These are the radios you see in movies.
Yes.
It's some military outpost somewhere.
Look at the bands over on the right side, that knob in the middle. So that's the band select switch. And it's
I like it.
Is that 10
Clank,
meters
clank,
broke
clank,
up into
clank,
like 5 different? But look on the right side of the knob. That's
Yeah,
the
because
Yeah.
it's actually 11 meters. They just don't want you to
But-
do it.
But did you also notice too that they've got an NC, a not connected button down here? So they've obviously bought all these knobs and they're like, oh, we've got too many. We don't have enough bands.
Yeah.
We'll
so let's split up 10 meters.
And
You
this
know,
is
10
just
meters
not
is a really big band.
this page intentionally left blank. Yeah, it is right.
That's where you ground your antenna for impending lightning strikes. Don't do that.
That's right. I bet the manual probably says, if you select this, do not transmit. It probably has it probably blanks out the screen or something. It's actually we do
Wayne
have
and
we
Christopher
got
coming in here trying to tell us
Oh.
facts to ruin our humor. Thanks, guys.
have a look at
Sure.
it. Check out the accessory port. There's about 50 million pins on here.
Yeah, but
4,
not all of them
8,
are connected.
12,
Hold on.
16. No, that's right. Not all of them have got pins in them.
What do you reckon that is? Because
12 out of 13 pins. All they did was change the shape of it.
yeah,
Now we're roasting people's first radios.
Well, you know, theme.
now what is
I do-
what is the timeline on this radio, Hayden?
It's 1980.
Because I mean,
The 80s.
Rockstar Dave is fairly elderly, so he's probably
He's like
texting
Keith
me right
Richards of
now.
ham
You
radio.
jackass! Yeah, Rockstar Dave is very, very similar to Keith Richards.
As in look?
Age, yeah.
In
Oh,
age.
right.
A picture in a closet in his house somewhere that ages instead of him. But yeah,
I'm trying to see what the band switch actually has written down here in the description.
Dave is going to be
Darklight is right,
at
I'm
Dayton. I can't wait to see you, Dave.
500 kilohertz segments. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did it say about the NC?
It had nothing.
I feel robbed.
Someone someone who has this radio needs to tell us what happens when you select the NC. Tio, where did you go? You've disappeared.
I said if Darklight was right, I was leaving.
Oh, right.
He was right. I had to leave. I admitted
So
he
you-
was right too. I'm
Yeah.
a bigger ham than most. Not
Very
necessarily
nice.
bigger than Darklight, but I'm a bigger ham. I can admit when I'm wrong.
Catching up with the chat. Chris is still trying to figure out what squiz means.
I'm with you, Chris.
Well, if you watched last week's show, we talked about it.
I couldn't.
Rolly
watch
used
last
one of
week's
those
show.
radios back in the day.
I was
The
preempted.
Expedition radio.
No, I
Randall
meant
with
for
the
Chris.
comment of the day.
Amen.
Right.
That thing is dead to me, Randall. Absolutely.
Do you reckon there must have been a point in time where someone was like, that radio's got no input for a Kia on the back? Or no, it wouldn't be that. It would be no input for a microphone.
No VGA connector on the back of it. What were they thinking?
Yeah.
VGA. MVA.
Yeah, probably so. CGA.
Hercules.
Hayden, get on SSB. Haven't seen you. I was on SSB a few days ago on 20 meters. It wasn't my fault that you couldn't find me.
You know, if somebody comes into the chat with EOD Kaboom as their handle, those
I
are
know what
two
he does
things
for a
that
job.
You don't want to have together in the same town. the EOD guy and the Kaboom. No.
EOD, you in the
No.
service? Air Force, Army, Marines?
I do need to do a stream where we just jump on the radio because that'd be a whole lot of fun. 20 meters was going good the other day to Europe, so it was good. Here's another one. There's been a lot of people that had that radio, my first radio, for their first one as well. So that's quite surprising. I first heard Squiz on EEV blog. Yeah, well, Dave's
He's a bloke.
Dave is known to use that phrase. My first radio was a Yaesu Sommerkemp. Right, where were we at? I can't remember. We're looking at radios.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find. Where was my? Oh no, that's it. Yes, this is my first VHF UHF radio. The little 7800. This is a great little unit.
Oh, that's cool.
I just don't know. I just like this vintage of VHF UHF radios from Yaesu.
So that's got Wires X on it.
Mm.
It's a dual band,
Mm-hmm.
half duplex radio.
Yeah, so you could
the
only listen to one
8800
band
is-
at a time.
A dual band full duplex radio.
Right.
This is what I was talking about earlier. The 6000 that came out a couple of years ago is a dual band half duplex radio.
Yeah.
Like, what's the upgrade?
Yeah. And then I have to go down to HF because it had HF in it. This is the radio that I've got still in the car. Where is it? I got the 8900. Oh, there it is. I got the 8900 in the car, which is again the same, but it's quad band. They don't make these anymore. They don't.
Nope.
Like no one's making quad band radios. No one's making even those mono band. Like
Does that have a separation cable with it, Hayden?
it does. It all
Just
came
a
with
mounting
everything that you need.
Does that come with a damn bracket?
Yes,
My question on that is, does the microphone plug into the head on that or into the base?
into the head.
Yeah.
Get out of town.
Yep.
Sweet.
I have parts waiting for me in Iowa to fix
See,
mine.
look, there's you can kind of see. The
Yeah.
mic plugs into the head. The separation cable between the two is just an RJ45 cable. So you can straight through cable. So you can just make up your own straight through. This is mounted underneath the seat. The head is up on a piece of Velcro that sits on the dash and the microphone connects directly in. So why have they gone backwards?
The 400,
Right.
the microphone connected to the base on a model that came later than
And
that, I
an
assume.
End connector. Yes, it's also got an end connector on the back.
Hmm.
There's a reason why
I
these
think
radios
this guy
are hard
might
to
actually
find.
be a silent key. I don't know.
So,
Yeah, they're really good radios. If you want one, ask
Yeah, but-
KK4PAL to get you one.
but they're not making these nuanced things anymore. We spoke about this the other day. What was your one? The 2000?
6000.
6000. Where's that? That's here somewhere.
Yeah, I mean they just came out with the 150 RASP and whatever those models. I mean, it's a nice radio, but it's a step backwards.
Bluetooth.
Get out
Only
of
if you
town.
add the module. Only if you buy the extra module and plug it in.
What year was this?
Doesn't come with it.
2021. Couple
That
of years.
seems to be the story with all these radios. Almost none of these things come with Bluetooth.
That thing should have USB-C. It should have a built-in sound card.
Right.
See, they do, but I've heard bad things about them, like finals blowing up and all that sort of thing. But I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the the Chinese radios, but more of the big three. They're not doing. I'm getting
They're
all
phoning it in.
nostalgic now and getting all grumpy. That's what's happening.
Back in my day.
Yeah, like for instance, let me see if I can find an example. I'll just close this stream down. I'll close the share down. You guys talk amongst yourselves, and I'll see if I can find an example. So here we go. Something like this. They don't
didn't
make
have a chance
these
to
things
talk.
anymore. Like that's a monoband 23 centimeter radio. Like how cool is that?
Yeah. With cat control. What the hell?
Oh no!
I heard
With
from a
Oh.
yeah.
Have we triggered you now, Tio?
Well, no. What's the equivalent model of that to the 2 meter 70 centimeter?
Well, that's a 912.
Because
So
a certain person who should know said that there's no such thing as a 2 meter 70 centimeter radio mobile that's
With
got
cat control.
control.
I'm just trying to see. Is it
Certain grumpy old ham.
2400? No.
Well, that narrows it down to a couple 100,000 people.
Right?
I'm just trying to look at the year models and see what was released in around 1990 when that other radio
Fred's
was
asking
released.
about the 212. He says maybe the FT212 to go with the 912.
You might be right. Oh, there it is.
There it is. So a certain person who should know better did not know better. Okay.
Yeah.
You got a picture of the arse end of that radio?
No, but we can find one. Hold on.
So that was the 8900R.
Yes.
Sharing Jim's screen now.
I can't find
As soon as
anything
it
marked
arrives.
R.
Come on, Jim. Come on, Jim. You can do it. Jim, blink
The
twice if they've
ham-
stolen your internet.
The
I'm right here.
hamster net's back. It's
I
There we
can't
go.
help
Now
it.
I
I'm
finally
on
got
the
your screen
internet.
share.
So I can't find any of these that say R. Oh, this one does. This is the first one I found that says R.
someone in the chat might be able to
They're proud of these
tell
things.
us. Someone in the chat might be able to tell us the difference between R and H and whatever the last number was, the letter was, because I can't remember or know.
I thought it was the band plan and the radio.
That would have been my
Potentially.
guess. Yeah.
Chris, I have never
So maybe
known the
one
Cobra
was
2000.
One may have been the Japanese model, I guess, or the European model, and one was the American model.
Yeah, possibly. This one has a PL259, or SO rather, 239.
Cannot find
I'm
any
looking
photos
for
of the
I'm looking for a dual band. A quad band would be even cooler, but I've got the Kenwood D710, and you got to plug the microphone into the bass, and that's really kind of a showstopper for me. So this would be
Say
cool,
that
but-
again. You've got what?
So I have two radios in my truck. I have the 500 I bought at Dayton that you made a video out of and made
Yeah.
made you famous off of my
Made you
back.
famous.
Big Gene.
It did. Well, I've actually my QRZ says Gem on it.
People still talk about that today. What we should do is we should have a party and play that video like at the very same time as you'd be walking around. As a bit of a memento. But yeah, go on.
Well, so I want 4 VFOs in the truck. I've got 2 radios, and so I was sad by the ICOM 2730 for various reasons. Although it's a decent radio, there's nothing wrong with it, but it just didn't fit for me. And I bought a D710 at Orlando. T.O. made me buy it. He's my enabler.
I did.
And it's a great radio, and it works fine, but after I put it in the truck, I discovered you can't plug the mic in the head. You have to plug the mic in the control unit, which is, well, crap, because now I got to run an extension cable to get the mic in someplace useful. So
It's not the price of the cable. It's the heat of Alabama.
yeah, well, it's the annoyance of having to run a cable is what it is. The heat is a factor, but the annoyance of having to run a cable. So I'm thinking about getting it
for you.
I'm thinking about getting a different radio to replace that D710. And Kenwood, of course, is coming out with their price unknown D750, which I'm guessing will be $1,000.
So go out to
and
your truck,
feature unknown too.
2 new cables, 2 new Ethernet cables. Tape them to the one old one. Make sure that you tape the hook down so it doesn't snag on your carpet. And then pull the 2 cables through. Disconnect the tape. Put the 1 cable in storage.
Yes, I've pulled the cable or 2. It's the principle of the thing.
It is.
This is the hill that Jim's going to die on. I will not install the cable.
I had this discussion with someone the other day about the FTM. Was it the 500 with the new the speakers in the head unit? And they've basically put the speaker now up into the head unit, but then they've taken the mic away, so you can't plug directly into the head. I thought that plugging a mic into the head would be more important than the speaker in the head, but anyway, because you can run an extension speaker somewhere.
I think the QB25 doesn't have a head separation at all.
There's the butt end
of it. So where's the cat cable go in the 3.5 millimeter jack?
I don't know. It's a bit low res, so it's hard to tell.
I mean, it only needs TX, RX, and ground to work, so it could be
there could be a socket somewhere that we can't. I don't know what that is down there.
It's under the shell.
Yeah.
That radio was so packed with features they had to shove the coax on the outside.
Your internet's struggling again, Jim.
Yep. If it's still sketchy, just kick me out and I'll participate in the chat. I can't tell. From here, you guys are fine. My picture obviously is fine.
Still good.
I don't know when it's going out other than it starts
fine.
doing the twirly thing on y'all, which it did just a second ago.
Oh, boy. Sorry, I was just going down and having a look at other weird and wonderful names. This is the Yaesu CPU 2500.
That one you can shave with.
Yeah. 1979. Nice. But what do we think? We need to have cat control in mobile radios.
We do.
They should have a little USB port.
Cat control by now.
Programming ability would be useful, or an SD card.
Ziggy and I were talking about this. Once a feature is achieved in a ham radio, it should never be removed in future generations from the same company.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chris is saying that the only quads made today are by TYT and Waxon. They are all 10.6.270. The problem is I've just heard some. I mean, I might be completely wrong, but I have heard that they have issues with their PA units and blowing finals and things like that.
And I'm not in love necessarily with a quad band. That's just kind of cool. That's gravy. But I want to get another dual band radio with the mic in the head so I don't have to run 17 more wires. Like Scott said, it's supposed to be a wireless hobby.
Yep. Well, the new, not that we're covering new radios, but I think the new Kenwood's supposedly supposed to be tri-band, but again, it's 270 and 220,
right?
Which is fine for you guys, but we don't get anything out of it. We only get 2 bands out of that.
Are you guys on a? Is that 4 meters over there? Do you have 4 meters, or is that a British thing, or what?
No, 220 is where all of our digital television sits. So we don't have 220 as a band that we can use.
So maybe they have a different version for Australia.
No, well, they'll just lock that out, and we just can't use it. No. Well, sorry, no. I should point out that it doesn't matter because the radio will never get sold here in Australia because Kenwood doesn't exist here in Australia. I had that argument with the guy when we went over to Dayton, and I mean, I don't blame him because the market is pretty small here. But if you want the new Kenwood, you're going to have to import it. So, and then probably pay some sort of tariff tax. Who knows? Just having a look here. Now, see, people are doing deals now outside of the chat.
He wanted to tell me about the R versus H. The R is high power, and the H is low power. And then the R was for North American, and it also had an SO239.
I think because isn't in Japan I think they're limited in their not only their frequencies but also their power level limits. Because there's some radios that they sell different models in Japan compared to overseas where we can run more power.
Yeah, the band plan's different too, I think.
Don, all HF radios should have 60 meters. It's just a shame that not all countries have 60 meters. That's been an ongoing war that we've had to try and get 60 meters here. But unfortunately, the Australian Defence sort of take a little bit of priority there, and they don't want to give it up.
We share it with the military here.
Yeah,
I was told. And by share it, I mean
now, Jim, you said the MA1.
Yeah.
Yes, MA1's a good one.
Is that the Retevis?
Reetvis, yeah.
Reetvis, Redivis,
Hold on.
Retevis.
Let me.
You got one?
I showed up.
Have I got a deal for you?
Oh my God! Yeah, but I'm gonna have to pay tariffs to get it from Australia.
No, it's a gift.
It is a gift. So this bad boy, it kind of looks a little bit like an 8900, but there are some good things, there are some bad things. You've done a video on this, haven't you, T.O.?
I have. It's a good radio.
Yeah, Steve liked it. He even talked good about it when he wasn't making a video.
Yeah, the
Yes.
head on that can come off, and then it can be attached upside down.
Right. I remember that. So you could put that thing up on like the
visor.
Headliner or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Mobile mounting bracket as well, and the
What?
microphone goes. The microphone goes in
the head. Yep.
Microphone goes into the head.
I believe it's full duplex, but I haven't tested it.
No, so I was actually going to do a video on this today, funny enough, so it's going to come out in the next couple of days. And holy moly, what the hell's that on the back? USB-C.
Get out of town. Look at that, a modern radio.
No cat control, though. Just
no
for
cat control.
Yeah, but programming is, I mean, how often
the only
use
problem
cat
is
control in a vehicle?
You can't get the cover out of the way to actually see the port. There we go.
Yeah, well, how many... And so dual speaker output, too. How many 2 meter, 70 centimeter FM base station radios exist besides the 9700?
Yeah, I have no idea. Probably not many.
Yeah, so that's why you want cat control on a mobile rig.
Not new ones. Not new ones. You could still get the old radios, but definitely not the new ones. I had a couple of quirks with this, and it'll come out in the video when I actually release it. So the only thing was when you're adjusting the volume, it's not like it's an analog voltage controlling the volume. It's more like a digital. It's more like a voltage controlling a digital pot that it goes up in steps and increments. So all of a sudden you go from quiet to the next level up to the next level up. You can't actually adjust it to how you want. So all of a sudden you'll be like very quiet, and then you'll turn the knob up and it'll be like boom, and blowing your ears out. So that's a little bit annoying. The other thing too is that if you're listening to a signal and you press a button to, like in a menu, or press a button to change power, it momentarily interrupts the audio coming from the speaker. So it mutes the audio for a second, which I think is a little bit annoying. But it's I guess this is a start, and very much when you fire this up, it very much looks like the Yaesu, the Yaesu look on the menus on the front. What do you call it?
Soft keys.
They copied 4 different radios.
And the screen looks a lot like the ICOM, the 2730 as well. Yeah. It's similar. I think the text is probably a little smaller. The ICOM only displays like 5 or 6 characters on the screen, which I thought was weird. But so you can't you can't name something.
And I've done out
with a long name, right? I couldn't put Montgomery Repeater in it. It'd be like Montgo or something.
Yeah, but you're limited to on the ICOMs and the Yaesus to like 6 or 7 characters anyway.
Yeah.
So, but I'll be doing a video on that so that we can have a look through that. So funny you mentioned that, Jim, the MA one.
Yeah, it's on my to-do list. It's on there. The FT150 is on there. I don't know. All of which are way cheaper options than that Kenwood D750 is going to be, but the Kenwood D750 would give me Alpha Ham Street cred or something like that.
Now the D750 should have Bluetooth data and audio.
TNC. Yep.
We'll see.
And it'll do DPRS, which Don is a huge fan of. So
we only got a couple minutes left. We're at 4 out of 10 on our goal.
Yeah. We're going to need some more chats to help out Jim with his internet. I don't know about mine, but you're running it like
refresh in real time.
Yeah, you're running it like 144p at the moment, I think.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, and delayed too. Oh, look, Hillbilly Ham, he's out. He's already gone. He's like, nah. 4 minutes to go, I'm out.
He's like, well, if you guys are going to make fun of Jim, I'm going to bail.
Yeah, that's right.
Her Team Jim. Team Gene.
The speaking about that Kenwood, it's going to cost like whatever stupid amounts of money. Yeah, and then you've basically got to double that, I think, to get it here.
$1,200.
So,
yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing somewhere between $1,000 and $1,200.
Yeah. That's probably on the low side as well.
That doesn't make me feel any better.
No.
I'll just do audio. That way everybody can just, be in awe of my logo. And
okay.
Which pulsates when I talk. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it does. Oh, dear.
Comment in there, but I can't make it.
No. Well, you can, but maybe we'll wait until after the stream to make that comment. Chris, has anyone talked about this Redivus HF radio?
Which Redivus HF radio?
Yeah. I wonder what.
Yeah, Jim's coming to you live over Ham Radio SSTV.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. That'd be a good stream idea. Would be SSTV, live SSTV. But I feel like people would start transmitting images that are not very appropriate for YouTube broadcasting.
So there's the Redivus HS1 and the Redivus HS3.
Jody, thank you for the $5 Canadians. Jim is celebrating Skype's demise with CIF video.
I'm throwing my hands up here.
Are you still? Not that we could see it. Are you still? Are you a Skype? Still a Skype user, Jim?
No. I haven't used Skype in 14 years at least.
Thank you, Jody, for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you being out there. So you guys are off to Dayton next week. Is there anything that you want to share about that as you wing your way across the country?
Bringing a lot of stuff in the back of the car for sale. So I'm going to be at the Radiodity booth Friday, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday. So if you're looking to come out and have an eyeball QSO with me, that's where I'll be in the Marconi building. They put me in the back corner.
I will be manning the Coffee and Ham Radios table sometime.
Is this the Radio Oddity second time there? They were there last year?
Dayton? I don't know. Maybe third.
Were they there last year?
You did that last year.
I was there.
I don't think they were there 2 years ago. Yeah. Oh, it was Huntsville. Okay.
Yeah, they weren't there when I was there. Oh, that should be good. So you're going to be there. Is there any representatives from Radio Oddity that are going to be there with you?
Yeah, Sherry's going to be there.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Not that anybody in the audience knows who Sherry is, but you do now. Sherry works at Radioddity.
Sherry is a very nice Radio Oddity representative that
Yes. So
should be
the
good.
HS3
And
is a
TalkPod
20
will be
watt
there.
backpack radio, like man pack portable radio. Comes with a battery. And you can get it in a couple of different forms. One with a bag and an antenna and one of those field phone type deals so you can LARP. It's got 2 antenna ports, so it looks like it's going to be all band. Yeah,
Nice.
all band. 70 meters. We don't get 70 meters over here.
There was rain when I went, Mike, but it was only in the morning, and it was before the show, and then the rest was all perfect weather. So
Yeah,
it does
that's-
happen sometimes.
That's kind of how it is, yeah.
All right. Well,
warm.
Jim, do you want to start your camera again and just see if it'll work? Because, people want to see your face before we sign off.
Well, I just checked my internet. I've got 940 meg down and 42 up. I'm like, it's something with the browser and StreamYard, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe your PC's chugging too
It's a
much.
Ryzen 9 with 80 gigs of memory. I don't think that's the problem.
Money doesn't win races, Jim.
Yeah.
It wins ham radio races.
Yeah.
Does it? Does it, though?
Unfortunately not, Chris. I was unable to head over again this year. Maybe next year. We'll see what happens.
I mean, we're going to start a GoFundMe for him or something. And I got to say, I would like to visit Hayden. And then I figured out how much it costs to get to Australia. And I'm like, okay, Hayden, you need to sell about 50 or 60 more keys of China Brown this year to afford it. Because, dang.
Man, I need more super chats to get back over there.
And you people are letting him down. I mean, really? Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think people actually realize how much it costs to come and visit your country for me, because
it was, yeah.
Because our dollar does not go as far as what your dollar goes. So by the time you pay for airfares and you pay for your food and pay for everything else while you're over there, it's quite expensive.
And now, if you come back over, you will not be buying any Wendy's. I will pay for it myself
You'll
directly.
pay for
No,
Wendy's.
we won't be buying any Wendy's because we won't be going back there because
I will
got the ghost
keep
pepper
you and
fries.
Crystal
They were
in pork
good.
chop sandwiches all weekend at Dayton. I'm just saying.
Frank what is it? Only like $400 dues. I'd have to get the exact amount that I spent last time to get
Gotta be
over
like
there.
5 digits, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It was
Very
5
expensive.
digits.
Mr. Mudd's here. Hello,
Wes.
Mr. Mudd.
Hey, Wes. And there was another comment. Where did I see it? Don, it's like 60 cents to the dollar or something like that. Yeah, 65 to 1, something like that. Anyway, a couple of years' time, we'll see how we go.
Not a Buc-ee's fan.
I'm a huge Buc-ee's fan. That's awesome. But fortunately, I drive by at least one on the way up to Dayton, so that'll be my lunch stop on the way Wednesday.
So you'll have a different opinion if you have one on your daily drive, your daily commute. Maybe it's just Texas drivers. I don't know, because Texas drivers are kind of crappy in the first place. No offense, Lee. But getting in and out of the parking lot at Buc-ee's was ridiculous.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, son. I mean, the one in Alabama that's up by Huntsville, it's got probably 200 gas pumps. I kid you not.
Yep. Yeah, it does.
But I have never had a problem getting in to find a gas pump immediately or finding a place to park. I mean,
Parking was easy, but getting to the parking space was hard. Getting from the parking space to the store was hard, like taking your life into your own hands. Again, Texas.
because of all the people or because of those wacky Texans? Okay.
It's the way Texas people drive. Texas people have this me first
Well,
attitude.
I live in Alabama. You don't even have to have a car that doesn't smoke down here. There's no safety inspections at all.
Drive an RV.
I mean, there's officially an insurance law, but I'm pretty sure they don't actually ever work on enforcing it.
I have won races, so like I can drive. That's not the issue.
I drove fire
it's
trucks. I ain't
Texas
hit
drivers.
nothing important with them big things. Driving anything else is easy.
And
But
I think I know the cause of
Oh.
Texas driver angst.
Let's not talk about Teslas, Don.
Yeah,
That's
that would be
swearing in the chat. Wes, first radio was a CB mounted on my BMX. I got all the chicks. Why does that not surprise me? I'll tell you what, if you want something entertaining, you definitely need to see some of Wes's activations on the bike. They're absolutely amazing. They're awesome.
Ooh. A GoFundMe to bring Hayden and Rolly stateside. Private jet only.
I'd kick in on that.
Money's only half of money's only half of it. So,
well, you got over your fear of flying. There's no worries there.
I don't know about get over. Logistical things. This is the thing. I've come over and I visit you guys, and no one will come and visit me.
I'm afraid of everything in Australia because I think it'll kill me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have two problems. Number one, my wife is afraid of flying. Number two, my wife is afraid of all the animals in Australia.
I'm not afraid of them, but I mean, koalas are dangerous and spiders.
I don't like flying either.
Snakes.
Look, we have the same feeling when we go over there. It's just, it's different. We're not fearful of animals. We're fearful of humans.
You
We're fearful of humans too.
We are too.
Yeah. Look, put it this way.
That's why you got a 7.62 super chat.
We don't have koalas rocking around with Glocks and stuff like that. And
they are high though.
Yeah.
Oh, the amount of people, and it actually is scary, the amount of people that see koalas and think that they'll drop out the sky on top of your head is quite. Well, that actually, no, this is true. Platypuses are venomous, but just don't go and touch them, and they won't hurt you.
They don't really do anything.
No, they're not going to. But if you try to pick them up, then they will.
Hayden probably didn't get that either.
I got Crocs on my feet.
I definitely. What, that? I get that.
What?
Croc shoes?
No, I wasn't talking about Crocs.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the comment. What did you say? I missed it.
Never mind.
Nah, repeat it.
Put a 1 in the chat if you got my comment about platypuses.
I
said they don't really do anything. He didn't get it.
Well, see, Mike talking about the toilet. Honestly, your toilets are just weird. Honestly, like, I don't know how you do it, but like, I don't want to be crass or anything, but I'm taking a dump, right? And your water level is like that much from the seat.
That's the tree hugger Karens. Oh no, that's the opposite of the tree hugger Karens. You have the tree hugger Karens. We don't.
I feel like I'm dropping into the ocean and getting,
splashback.
Massive. No, not splashback.
I want the kids to have a good, nice swim. I'm just saying.
Man, the kids are sinking to the bottom, and there's no way you're going to retrieve them ever back again.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Now
this went 80 meters.
No, now we're triggering people in the chat now. Now that I've said that your country is not safe.
Curtin got it. Tio.
Oh, dear.
Curtin got it.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys, for going through
Scott got it. Doc Adams.
Your first radios. We'll be back next week with same time, same channels, similar content if you can handle it. I haven't pressed end stream yet, by the way. So
okay.
that we got to end right there, right?